The Black Sheep's Redemption. John had always been the black sheep of the family. No academic medals, no scholarships, no recognition. His brother Matthew, on the other hand, was the golden child, the straight-A student, the pride of their parents, Steve and Martha. Their parents never missed a chance to remind John of his failures. He hadn't made it to college, his grades were too low, his attitude deemed lazy. Matthew, meanwhile, was celebrated when he got into a prestigious university on a full scholarship. Matthew, intoxicated by his achievements, often belittled John. At family dinners, he would smirk and say, "You know, Mom and Dad, not everyone's cut out for greatness. Some people are just destined for mediocrity." His eyes would flick toward John, who sat quietly, enduring the sting. Another time, when John struggled to find a decent job, Matthew mocked him openly. "While I'm preparing for law school, my dear brother here can't even get past an interview. Maybe you should consider flipping burgers." John clenched his fists but never answered back. Deep down, the words cut him, but instead of breaking him, they planted a seed of determination. One day, while going from place to place looking for a job, John met Isaiah, a local plumber. Unlike everyone else, Isaiah didn't look at John with disappointment. Instead, he saw potential. He took John under his wing, teaching him the ins and outs of the plumbing trade. The first months were brutal. John worked long hours, endured rejection, and struggled to find footing. But he didn't give up. Within 6 months, he scraped together enough money to rent a small space for his tools and projects. 2 years later, thanks to Isaiah's mentorship and John's relentless effort, he had saved enough to launch his own plumbing company. Eventually, John relocated to another state to expand his opportunities. His company flourished, and because of its good reputation, he was able to land lucrative contracts that brought in around $400,000 a year in revenue. Despite the move, he and Isaiah remained close, often collaborating on projects. John always considered Isaiah more of a brother than Matthew ever was. 10 years passed. John's plumbing company had grown into a respected name known for reliability and honesty. He lived comfortably, though he never boasted. Matthew's life, however, took a dark turn. The once proud scholar craved riches without effort. He mocked John even after graduation, boasting, "I'll be driving luxury cars while you're still unclogging toilets." But life had other plans. Matthew got involved with shady dealings, and eventually, his schemes caught up with him. He was convicted of multiple counts of fraud and sentenced to 15 years in prison. The downfall of their golden child devastated Steve and Martha. To make things worse, they discovered they, too, were among the victims of Matthew's fraudulent activities. Financially and emotionally drained, their health deteriorated rapidly. One afternoon, John was in the middle of a business meeting when he received a call from a hospital. His parents had been admitted due to malnutrition and various illnesses. The hospital staff mentioned something that stunned Steve and Martha. John had been the one secretly paying for their medical expenses all these years. They had always assumed it was Matthew, their perfect son, helping them. The truth left them speechless. When John finally visited them, his parents broke down in tears. They apologized, their voices shaking with regret. They admitted their blindness, their unfair treatment, and the pain they caused. John listened quietly. He didn't lash out. Though disappointed, he realized he carried no hatred toward them. His love for his parents was greater than any resentment. Sometimes, John said softly, people only see your worth once you've already proved it to yourself. From that day forward, John made another decision. He invited Steve and Martha to live with him. He wanted to make sure they were well cared for, safe, and never left wanting again. That day, Steve and Martha saw John not as the black sheep, but as the son who had risen from the shadows, carrying a strength and compassion they had failed to recognize all along.